Go ahead. No, the brother's on the phone. Now, you say what you think that black people in America are some of the worst people in America. In what way?
Yeah. Some of the worst people in America. Some of the most hateful as well. Some of the most racist. So I'll give you a quick example. Someone brought up the straw.
So does that include you? Hold on. When you talk about black people, that includes you.
It has.
No.
Because that includes you.
I don't. Wait,
brother. Are you a black man?
Really, y'all don't know this. Y'all in danger. I'm a threat. I'm a gamble with your life, 'cause you know that it's okay. It's okay. You know I ain't letting up. My foot is on your neck. Take my word for it. It's a promise and a threat. Really, y'all don't know this. Y'all in danger. I'm a threat. I'm a gamble with your life, 'cause you know that it's a bet. It's a bet. You know I ain't letting up. My foot is on your neck. Take my word for it. It's a promise and a threat. I ain't never really want to flex my gifts, but I think it's my time. Let me check my wrist. You can never get my shine. I'ma keep on grinding till I reach the tip top. What is this?
Go ahead. No, the brother's on the phone. Now, you say what you think that black people in America are some of the worst people in America. In what way?
Yeah. Some of the worst people in America. Some of the most hateful as well. Some of the most racist. So I'll give you a quick example. Someone brought up the straw.
So does that include you? Hold on.
It has to.
When you talk about black people, that includes you.
It has.
No.
Yeah, that includes you.
I don't. Wait,
brother. Are you a black man?
No, I don't look at myself.
Are you a black man?
I don't look at myself as a black man.
Okay, well, you look at y'all leave the brother alone. Leave the brother alone.
Cool.
Leave the brother alone.
Hey, no. Let them be themselves. That's what they are.
You gotta listen. It does not matter what you think you are. It's what we say you are. It's what society.
No.
I know. I want you to hear me. I hear you. I want you to hear me. Do you live in America?
Yes.
Okay, so you're a black man in America. So you are one of the worst
people. I'm a black man in America. I am an American from New Jersey. That's what I am. See, the thing is that yes, I'm a black man from New Jersey. I am an American from New Jersey.
No, you can't run from it. You are clearly a black man, and you said you live in America, and therefore you got to deal with that. You are one of the worst people in America.
I don't have to deal with that shit.
Tonight, you look at yourself. This is one of the worst people in America. You said it's your word. Okay. I didn't say that.
Yeah.
And it doesn't matter what you think you are.
I tell you what I think about.
Hold on. It's a lot of men who dress in dresses. We all are still men. And whether you think you gotta listen, brother. Now you came up in here and you said something, and this is the mirror I'm holding up for you. You said that I'm not a black man, and I'm telling you, when you walk down the street and that white woman clutches her purse, she's letting you know you are a black man. You understand, mommy?
The only person that ever let me know that I was a black man are other black men calling me a nigga every time. That's the only people that let me know I'm a black man. Is some of the most dangerous people in America, which is black men. Those are the only people that let me know I'm black. Is dangerous black men.
Okay, so you're a dangerous black man.
Let me show something.
No, I just told you I'm not black.
No. Cut it out. Y'all listen to this brother. Listen to the brother. He says he's not black. I'm trying to help him understand that he is not an Asian woman. He is not a white man. He is a black man living in America. Okay. And everything you say about black men, it applies to you. You wear that badge too.
So how can you not
realize? Let's just say. Okay, look. I'll give you this. Hold up, Dennis. I'll give you this. It does apply to me. Yes, when I'm walking outside and I see a person and I see a lady cross the street, I'm a dark-skinned man, and dark-skinned men always doing stupid shit in America. So yeah, I get why she do that. But at the end of the day, that's the only time.
Bro, you're not even that dark. Okay, but the bottom line, it doesn't matter if you're a dark-skinned black man or a light-skinned black man or a black man with good hair, dreadlocks, bald head, mohawk. You will not rise any higher than the lowest person in your social status.
I ain't had that much fun in a long time.
Oh my God. That was we had church service. We had church service. I felt like we were having an exorcism and a church service at the same time. He was deep in that sunken place, bro. Deep. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Simple Shit TV. I'm your host, Alvin Holden, also known as Project 8020. I am here with one of my famed co-hosts, Gerald, aka Arrowhead. How are you doing, sir?
Pretty good. Have 3 days off. Today was my last day for the week, so yeah.
Okay. So you get a little refresh time.
Yep.
Or recharge time. That's what's up, man. Well, look, I mean, I thought I would revisit this since it's fresh and it just happened, and I'm sure that you can attest to a lot of this. Oh man, Mr. Allen. Oh, my bad. Look, and salute to the chat. Salute Hootsie, Broken Blade, Wrench Turner, Mr. Allen, the Gramercy Riff. Thank you guys so much for coming through and hanging out for a split second. I really appreciate you guys. Yeah, you missed a barn burner there, Mr. Allen. You missed a barn burner. Also joining us are another one of my famed and illustrious co-hosts, Broken Blade. How are you doing, sir? What's up? Bro. All right, salute, man. You're muted, but I don't know if you. Okay, there you go.
Man, I'm glad I went to bed when I did, bro. Oh shit.
Oh man, it was funny. It provides a perfect opportunity for us to talk about some things. Okay. See, us as Black folks, no one wants to talk about it, but we're embarrassed. We're embarrassed. I think we're embarrassed by our position in this country. I think we're embarrassed by our lack of knowledge of our history and our lineage. It's embarrassing. And nobody ever really wants to talk about it. I think that part of the way that traditions and things are carried over, legacies are carried over, are through the men. So it is no secret or is no surprise that our legacy and our memories are kind of lost because they've been left in the hands of the women in our families. It might sound kind of crazy, but like a lot of the hardcore kind of like, the tougher parts of our culture, right? Like the hero stories and the legacy stories, those are lost with our men. And if our men have been separated from the families and kind of pushed aside, I think that there's a lot of knowledge that has been lost. So we've got new generations of young people that hate the idea or the fact that their families or their legacy comes from slavery. I think that the narrative has been pushed that we have been a weak people, that we didn't fight back, that we didn't, that we were conquered, so on and so forth. And I believe that the media has doubled down on that narrative. And I think that, a lot of them, for example, right? When you guys were younger and you had, a couple of people, like you always had that friend or two that like, oh, I'm part Indian, right? Or like girls wanting the good hair, or if they had curly hair, they were, it's like, and it's like, motherfucker, you ain't. When how many Indians have you seen? Yeah, right. Paper bags. You know what I mean? Like, no. All right. I believe that there's a handful of Black folks that were maybe here before the white folks came. Okay, sure. But the majority of us that came here descended from those that came over in the bellies of boats. Let's just be real. And I think that that's a very unflattering fact, and that causes a lot of self-hate. So before we get into the the subject of the evening, of the afternoon, I want to just go over self-hate real quick. We got to do the nerdy stuff first. And I'm just on Psychology Today, just keeping it super duper simple. Any of you guys can look this up, look up self-hatred, just Google it. But anyway, self-hatred encompasses continual feelings of inadequacy, guilt, and low self-esteem. People may constantly compare themselves to others, perceives only negative, and ignore the positive, and believe that they will never be good enough. But every single person has worth and value and the ability to cultivate love. That's them throwing that little extra sauce on there. What causes self-hate painful, but exploring those emotions is the first step towards healing. If you're struggling with hateful thoughts, reflect on what sparked them. Did you make a mistake at work? Did a recent dinner with a friend lead you to feel envious? Identifying these triggers can allow you to diffuse them the next time they arise. So, the funny thing about what we just witnessed, right? Like, brother, you walked into a room full of black men to try to shame and or insult those very black men. You know what I mean? Like, we didn't call him. We didn't go looking for him. He found his way onto our stream, right? So, like, it wasn't like he's like minding his own business and we came to his front door like, hey, Mr. Brother, brother, I know this annoys you, but brother, you know what I mean? But he was absolutely, and he was offended by, and he was a troll, but again, he felt like he needed to, it's like, just like those divestors, right? It's like they want to insult you to your face, right? They want to tell you how shitty black people are. Oh, you guys are just doing what you guys do because you're black. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, if you're not wearing your seatbelts, you definitely got to buckle up, because one of my prized and fabulous co-host, Hot Sauce. What's going on, Hot Sauce? How are you doing, bro?
I'm good, man. Just so you guys know, I won last night. I beat the shit out of that champ. And the video will be out soon.
Okay. Yeah. That's what's up, man. I'm glad. I would have lost. I would have bet my money on the chimpanzee.
Yeah.
Never doubt.
never doubt a maniac. So, but yeah. How's everybody doing?
Doing great.
Hope everyone's doing well.
Yeah,
doing great. We're just touching on some self-hatred.
Yeah, I saw that, and I saw Dennis Berlin. I mean, I don't want to say he has self-hate. I think that's a bit strong for me.
Mm-hmm.
But I just think, see, the thing about it is, right? When we evaluate our culture and what we really have done, I can see why certain people will say, well, the grass is greener on the other side, right?
The grass is greener on the other side.
So, and I kind of get where he comes from. Like, I don't see color. I kind of get the situation where he's kind of saying, these things, because some stuff is true about who we are and what we do, and some things are not. Some things is propaganda. But at the end of the day, this question still remains, it's just that for some reason, why we can't get beyond what we have for the past 200 years, let's say after Reconstruction.
Yeah, I don't disagree with you.
And I think that matters, right? If we look at people who are result oriented, I think that really matters. And I think people like him kind of looks at it like that, right? We look at, I mean, we know reasons why, but I think that people like him look at it and say, well, why we're still having the same conversations that Booker T. Washington and W.E.B. Du Bois has.
Absolutely. I mean, and I don't disagree with you. I think it comes from a lack of understanding, a lack of curiosity, a lack of effort on his part to really understand why his people are in the condition that they're in. I think it's easy to just point and say, oh, you guys are just losers. You guys are just violent. You guys are just whatever. And he can regurgitate whatever happened on Fox News. And that's fine, because I think, I might have even put myself in that category for a long time. But, at some point in time, you still have to kind of look at yourself and say, you know what? I don't really know that many dudes that are like, dropping off babies in every girl that they see. And you know what? Like, I've nothing but hardworking men in my family. I don't really understand what that whole deal is about. Or it seems like, I look at the statistics and there's not nearly as many of us in jail as they say there is, like, and you start to ask yourself like, well, wait a minute, if some of this stuff is not true, how much of it is not true? And, and so, like I said, I don't, and this isn't so much just about him in particular. I think this is a bigger question or a bigger conversation about a lot of our youth. And again, we wonder why we don't get anywhere. Well, when we have people like him, that when we are trying to circle the wagons and you've got guys like him throwing Molotov cocktails in the conversation, well, it's no secret why we don't get anywhere. So this is why I thought the conversation was relevant. That's all.
I mean, I get it, but I would say people like Obsidian is more self-hateful than him.
I don't disagree with that at all. I think the only difference between the two of them is Obsidian just has a louder microphone and has been doing it for a longer time. But I put them in the same bucket. Yeah. I mean, and it is what it is, bro. It sucks. I get it. I was just finished listening to a podcast where I was listening to somebody that was trying to argue against reparations, and it's like, it doesn't even to argue against reparations doesn't even make any sense. It doesn't even make any sense. And so it's like,
especially if you're black, it doesn't.
Yeah, it really doesn't. And it's like, well, what kind of like self-serving, like what kind of brainwashing do they have to do to you to believe that you shouldn't get, or your family or your lineage doesn't deserve some sort of repercussions for the bull that you had to go through? And I put that in the same bucket. We're very much a divided people, and trying to hammer the brother in particular, like him in particular, it was more about the idea. Go ahead, Gerald.
Not only is it self-hatred, there's a lot of low self-esteem within a lot of black males too. It's just it's a combination of both. But it's and I think a lot of it stems from too. When you look at a history, when we look at the history, when we look at our history in this country, I'm sure a lot of us are aware of it to a certain degree, but we don't know the extent of like how bad it actually was. Like, we don't understand about the breeding farms, the mass graves, the buck breaking, and the sending the bucks in to. It's just like, whoa. Yeah. And I think for a lot of people, a lot of our people, I think it's hard for them to accept sometimes.
Yeah, I agree. I
think on one level it's hard to accept, and also is level of intellectual laziness.
Yeah, that too.
There's that too. There's that too. We are a new kind of people. We're a completely new group of people, and I think until we start really looking at ourselves that way, and conducting ourselves that way, like, and really saying, okay, if like, how did the very first Chinese do it? Like, how did the very first, right? Like, when they couple grouped up and they said, okay, we all look alike. We all live over here on this mountainside. We all whatever. Like, what traditions? How did they like pass traditions from one to the other to the other? What did they do to start? Right? What did the Greeks do? What did the Spartans do at the very, very beginning? How did they set up their legacy and their rituals and the stuff that they did? We got to start there. because we are a brand new group of people. We came from different tribes all up and down the West Coast. Go ahead, Joe.
Very first ingredient, they're on code.
Amen. Yeah.
Well,
and go ahead, Hot Sauce.
Well, I want to say this. See, because the thing about it is, because I used to be pro-black back in the day. Back in high school, you know, I used to, you know, reject the milk of magnesia at one point. I know that's hard to believe, but
you love the mayo though.
I do, man. But my point is this: is that the community is not loyal, right? I mean, we know what you get when you fight for your people. We know what you get. Right? You get the Malcolm X treatment. You get the Martin Luther King treatment. You get the David Abernathy treatment, right? We know what happens.
Yeah,
the community is not, there's no fidelity in the community.
I don't disagree with you, but I guess I'm stubborn in that I'm under. Okay, look, we still pray in the white Jesus, okay? We still praying in the white Jesus. We still carrying the white Jesus Bible around. All right. I'm under the impression that if we really, really started from scratch on our own accord, maybe it's got to be a small group. Who knows? Whatever. Right.
It's got to be
established code. Yes. I just have a hard time believing that we inherently are disloyal pieces of shit.
But I mean, but
I don't want to believe it. I don't.
The track record bears it out. I mean, look.
So I'm just a sucker then.
And I'm going to say this with all due respect to our beautiful cocoa brown, dark sweet berry women. You know, I love you, queens. Black power and shea butter. Okay. Listen. Okay, we come from a community where a mother will have pride in her PhD while her children can't read.
Yes.
And now you're telling me, Mr. Holden, I have to hold you at court now.
Yeah.
That these women are going to be loyal to the cause.
No. Maybe not these. We got to find some, but maybe not these.
But these are the educated PhD MBA women.
That's not the ones we need. We need to go find a river somewhere. Find the ones.
My point is, it's just that it's not so much fighting for your people. It's the other side of the equation. Like, for example, when you lose everything and you become a martyr, will we as a community look after your children and your kids and take care of you as much as you fought for us?
If there's a new standard and we set the new standard, then yes, I think we can. I hope we can. Look, man, I can't go down thinking that we are, as a people, are just incapable of being honorable, loyal, successful groups of people. I can't believe that. I just can't.
We can be successful.
Yeah, as a group.
We can be
as a group. I think
as a group.
As a group. Now, and like I said, I'm not saying everybody can come. Not everybody can come. But like, I've met too many good people to think that as a whole the entire group is gone. Now, again, I might be on the optimistic side of the spectrum, and you need people like me, and you might be on the pessimistic side of the spectrum. We need people like you because we balance each other out. But I'm still gonna keep trying to unplug and educate as many young men as I can, and I'll be like, look, the way you learned before is bullshit. We're starting over again. We're a new group of people. You have some pride and dignity into your history. God damn it, because we weren't just slaves. We fought. You know what I mean? Like and this is how we're going to do it moving forward. Now, and traitors, we cut your balls off. If you're a traitor, we cut your balls off. And we need to cut some balls off to set an example. So whoever wants to be the traitor first, go ahead and be the traitor first. But I'm going to go get the machete. I'm going to sick Mr. Allen on you.
Well, I'm happy to support, but I'll be in the background with my white woman. But you got my dollar.
Hey, I might have a white woman too. I'm just saying. I don't know. She's more likely to be Asian, but whatever.
I'll say this, Alvin. That you know, I do believe what you're saying. I do believe that we are capable. Like we're not. All of us, like we have as being in the space for a little while. Mm-hmm. I notice a lot of us have so much talent, so much, honorability about ourselves. We just don't know how to reciprocate. We don't know how to reciprocate it. Like there's been things I've been taught that I've said that we have a lot of work to do. There have been times where like you've caught it and you've told us this, and it's just like damn. But I will say this though, you can't do it here, bro. You cannot do it here. But
gentlemen, I have a very simple question, and a question to all three of you, gentlemen.
Yes, sir.
If it's true what you're saying, how come it hasn't been done? And let me be extremely clear.
Yeah.
Your side we've seen your side before. We've seen David Abernathy, Martin Luther King, Malcolm X, whoever, right? We've seen the freedom fighter side that says, okay, we need to stand up against tyranny. We need to whatever, right? Mm-hmm. However, when it comes to the community's commitment to you, to the freedom fighter, right? We always see the backbiting, because remember, Martin Luther King wasn't accepted at first. Malcolm X wasn't accepted at first. They hate him, et cetera, right?
Yeah.
Even Muhammad Ali and things like that. Like, are we gonna call him Cassius Clay, et cetera, right?
Yeah.
So I have just a very simple point. If it's true what you're telling me, then why haven't it happened already?
Does anybody else want to go first? I have some theories.
I think a big part of it, I'm not saying it's the exact reason, but one thing I noticed throughout history is that when we're left to our own devices and we actually do build, or when we do have a leader, whatever cause it is, gets infiltrated. And
that's what I was going to say. We tend to get sabotaged.
How do you prevent infiltration? Yeah, you got to be on code, but
who let them in?
We did.
So
yeah,
that's my point on the opposite side, right? So if you three are freedom fighters,
can I answer?
Oh yeah, sorry.
That's all good. I just think we need to learn from their mistakes, and that is one of them. Not watching who we let in, and two, being dependent on the community to be successful. I mean, again, that's not. We have to really circle the wagons, really start over, really, take a page out of. I mean, let's see, his Hebrew Israelites are still kind of moving around. Maybe we take a couple of pages out of their book. The Nation of Islam is still around. Maybe we take a couple of pages out of their book. Maybe we start to infiltrate the white folks a little bit. Maybe we do something, we have to change our strategy. I don't necessarily know that the people that came before us strategized properly. Maybe they weren't keeping up with the times. Maybe they weren't. I mean, maybe not. I think we have a lot of learning to do. We need to understand exactly how they got infiltrated, but I think there's ways around it. I don't think it's the end all be all.
Well, that's a big thing though. Like just infiltration, like somebody needs to be, it can't be just one guy in head of security. Like there's got to be multiple.
Yeah.
You gotta have a fortress of people just like, vetting the place out.
Yeah, you can't get in. My kids ain't gonna play with your kids. We can't, whatever. And maybe it comes down to homeschooling, and we find we separate ourselves, physically separate ourselves.
Yeah.
Maybe we start, start businesses together in a way where we're self-sustaining and don't have to reach out into the community so much. And maybe it's only it's generations to come. Maybe it's just us for a little while until we grow it. Go ahead, Broken.
Also, we have to build a culture of trust.
Yeah.
That was one of the big things that caused problems with the Black Panthers. Huey P. Newton and Eldridge Cleaver. Yeah. What's his name? J. Edgar Hoover was sending like crazy letters, like back and forth, making the other think they're trying to betray each other.
Yeah.
All this other nonsense would play a large part in the party falling apart.
Yeah.
See, that's why I say like we gotta do it somewhere else, because I'm like, I've studied the small hat community, and one thing is when they after the whole Second War, when they came here, they immediately established their own circle of their own type of honor code, and not only that, they also took over the business class and the community, government, local governments, and policing.
Yeah.
And I'm like, if we could do that somewhere else, because I don't see, like, cause every time we tried it here, it's been either burnt down or infiltrated.
Yeah.
And it's going to be hard, especially when you don't have a culture, or unless you do the circle is very, very small up in the Rocky Mountains somewhere.
Which I'm not opposed to either. I'm telling you, I was scoping out a really nice valley up in Alaska that, I'm just saying.
It's cold up there, man. It's cold.
Hey, man, look, climate change is real. Climate change is real. We'd only be wearing jackets about 6 months out of the year. I'm just saying. Climate change is real. It's gonna be like San Francisco up there and say, I don't know, 10, 15 years, but whatever. But anyways, I'm like I said, man, it's all good, Mr. Allen. We got you. Once again, everyone that popped into the chat, to everyone that's looking, salute to you guys, Eclectic Agitator, Shaft Brown, JJ, Timothy, Hootsie, Red Sigma, Jerome. Salute to all of you guys. Thank you guys for jumping in. And I think, was it Red Sigma? Look, man, cutting your balls off needs to be the punishment for debauchery, for messing it up. So if you're going to be a traitor, then that's what the punishment is, whether you like it or not, sir. Okay. He thinks we have a fascination with balls. You ain't got no fascination with balls. I'm just saying that's just an appropriate punishment for being a traitor. Let me just muscle through this real quick. What causes self-hatred? Do I hate myself? I don't know. Let's see. Do I hate myself? The pain of self-hatred can be due to different reasons. Abusive parenting or childhood trauma can prevent the development of self-esteem. Perfectionism can lead people to believe that they'll never be good enough. And dissatisfaction with particular traits such as intelligence or appearance can lead to doubt and inadequacy. A grave error such as betrayal or crime can also fuel self-loathing. I hate myself. What does that mean? People who hate themselves assign disproportionate weight to their faults and overlook their strengths. This can be fueled by a time in which they develop a harmful narrative about themselves that can be difficult to invalidate, but treating others with kindness, which will hopefully lead to treating oneself with kindness, is one place to start. They give me facts and then they put all that that they try to put that lipstick on the pig there at the end. How to develop self-worth. Now I know, look guys, this is kind of corny. I know. And that's by design.
Nah, that first paragraph was black men in a nutshell. That's our experience.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So I wasn't too far off the mark, but because I really think that a lot of us, we've listened to the media and all of these messages in the back of our head for so long that a lot of it has stuck, and it's not real. Oh, black men can't work together. We can't do this. We can't do that. They're always going to cheat you. They're always going to screw you. They're always going to whatever. Don't trust. Mess with your girl. They're always gonna, they're not honest. They steal. They this. They that. That's what all the immigrants are told before they come here, right? And they'll die on that hill. So I mean, we've got generations and generations of that messaging being pounded into the back of our heads. So it's no secret or no surprise why we'll have this guy like we had last night pop into the mix. Real quick, almost done. How to develop self-worth. Cultivating self-esteem is the antidote to self-loathing. Learning how to silence one's inner critic can limit the negative thoughts that come to mind and the comparisons made to others. Practicing self-compassion. Learning how to forgive others and oneself for past mistakes, whether serious or trivial, are key approaches as well. And again, as corny as that sounds, I mean, I think we can absolutely positively understand that. Let's see. People may how do I stop hating myself? People may condemn themselves to years of self-loathing, especially after committing a terrible act. Self-forgiveness offers a path to release that burden. This process can begin by forgiving others and progress to recognizing that you too are more than your behavior and that you can learn to love yourself. Once again, kind of corny there at the end, but whatever. How do I build self-esteem? Now, this is where I wanted to get to. You need to become aware of a problem to change it. So begin by noticing critical self-talk and challenge those thoughts. Explore the narrative that you have about yourself and why it might be flawed. Avoiding comparing yourself to others and practicing forgiveness can also help cultivate self-esteem. Explore the narrative you have about yourself and why it might be flawed. You need to become aware of a problem and change it. So begin by noticing critical self-talk and challenging those thoughts. Explore the narrative you have about yourself and why it might be flawed. That's the part I wanted to get to.
So, like, in other words, do some research about what you think, see if it's true or not.
Do a couple Google searches.
Stoicism and pragmatic thinking also.
Yeah,
do a little research, ask a couple questions. You know what I mean?
It's so amazing how we have a supercomputer in our damn hands 90% of the time, but people don't know basic things about history. It's just crazy.
They don't even look.
My man was like in 1683, something like that. When he
1630.
1630, I'm like, that was like the Salem witch trials, Pilgrims. This country wasn't even established.
Again, he just came in again. I think he thought that he was coming into a group of men that were not capable of understanding what's happened. Uncle D is very quick. He realized very quickly what he was dealing with. And see, the funny part about it is, so salute to Wrench Turner. He's in here. Salute to him. So right before he popped up on the screen, I saw that Wrench kicked him out of the chat for something that he said. I don't know what he said, but I saw right before he popped up, I was like, Wrench Turner booted somebody. And I was about to scroll to see who. I'm like, damn, he's sitting on the screen. So I was like, he must have said something kind of crazy for Wrench to recognize it and to get him out of here. Because Wrench usually ain't the one booting people out. So Wrench booted him out, and then he popped up, and I was like, oh, this is going to be interesting. So the second he popped up, I was like, oh, this is going to be fun. I knew, but Uncle D didn't know any of that, right? But he saw the kid's posture, saw what had going on, and decided, sorry, hot sauce. Come back whenever you like, bro. And so he absolutely positively, I was like, oh, this is gonna be good. But Uncle D knew what was gonna happen before it even happened. So here, let's Agent of Chaos. You absolutely, Hootsie, you're 100% correct. That's what he was. But I think it was
people don't realize this stuff, but internet trolling stems from a certain place, and it's kind of a place where it's sort of like it's a half truth to people who actually believe in, like, because people who troll, they have a projection way about them. They just project a lot of things that they kind of internally think onto others, and that's what that guy was literally in there for. If you look at it,
absolutely.
Like, I'm not black. I'm like, okay, man, sure.
like what are you really trying to say? But
yeah,
we've seen it before, right? There was that girl that was like, I hate myself, I'm black. We had that mom that was like, divester chick that was like, I hate blah 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 blah. I don't really see other groups of people that say that or that have those people in their communities, or they don't outwardly say it. I did know a Chinese girl once that she was like third generation American, and she was like kind of Valley Girl type, you know, but was Chinese, and I don't think she was very fond of. She was actually a Chinese girl that liked Panda Express.
Ooh, that's a...
Yeah.
See, I like Panda Express, but Chinese, they don't like it.
Yo, the Chinese do not like Panda Express. Nah, that's an insult. Like that's like that's fight. Like to offer an authentic Chinese person Panda Express is like basically saying you want to fight. Like that's
it's like giving Taco Bell to
to a Mexican.
He's like, this ain't real Mexican
like,
food. What's wrong with you?
It's not even real meat. What are you talking about? But so like that's rare. But in the black community, it's a lot more common because it's hard being black in this country. It's hard being black in this country. Like you are constantly getting kicked, constantly getting punched, constantly, whether it's the people around you or the media or whatever. And it's not to like whine or bitch or moan and groan. It's just the reality of the situation. And I think that there's a lot of people that really don't kind of understand the gravity of that. It's funny, like when I traveled to Europe, it was crazy. I didn't even realize it, but like I got this like there's this like white noise that's like just kind of in the back of my head rattling around when I'm at home. And when I left the country, I swear to God, just disappeared and everything got so much quieter. And I was like,
they treated you like a damn human being.
It's I believe we have a certain level of anxiety.
Yeah.
It's a certain level of anxiety that is just rattling around on there. For some of us, it's bigger than others, but that's part of it.
I got a big ass Lexapro.
Jamal said. Jamal's just like giving Olive Garden to an Italian. You're right. Absolutely. He'll be like, you call that pasta? I would give you an Italian accent, but I'm not going to do that.
You know what's crazy? We don't have that. We don't have that in our community too. Like we don't have like an insult to certain restaurants. Like we like Popeyes and KFC. Like it's not an insult to us. But it's like,
damn, you're kind of right.
Yeah, because it's really not authentic. It's not really authentic black food. Like it's not made from scratch.
Nah. But we don't like hate it.
We don't hate it. We love it.
That's interesting.
Is that crazy?
See, man, we're a microwaved people. Kinda. I just think we got to just hit the reset button. I think if we really said, okay, no, really, we got to start over. We're a completely different group of people, right? Like all the men came from different tribes all up and down the west coast of Africa, middle of Africa. We're not all from the same, right? So that in and of itself is a mix. Then the women that they brought over, same thing, all different mix, all different whatevers. Like they didn't keep us all the same. We're a mixture. And then you add in the fact that like half of us got like, 10% Irish, 10% British, 10% Spanish, 10% Portuguese, like all of us got some, French. Right?
I trace my father's lineage down to Louisiana to a French plantation.
Okay. And the French did damage down there, boy. The French love to do the damn thing. That's for damn sure. So, but anyways, so let's get to this show. I expected to get to this a little earlier, but let's see what this brother had to say. Let's see what we got here. Let me know if you guys can hear this, okay?
People from the UK listening to her. This is not even a black. Like, fuck out of here. Let me broken play. Hold on. Unlike Lee. What would you like to add to the comment?
Can I get in there? I
want to get unlikely. I'm gonna get unlikely.
Yeah, I'm gonna be quick.
Sorry, Philip. Damn it. Yeah, I tried to let it. He got skipped over, and then Philip was waiting the whole time. Got skipped over.
First of all, shout out to everybody on the panel and in the chat. I hope this isn't a panel where we all just do like this Black Power shit.
So first of all, he entered into the room disrespectful. He came into the room with his dirty shoes on. He didn't put his feet quite on the couch yet, but he left his shoes on when we distinctly told him to take his shoes off.
As soon as he said that, I said, "Here we go."
Here we go.
As soon as he said that.
Here we go. Absolutely. God damn it.
Because I probably got a different perspective.
I'm not pro-black.
Hey, look, Broken. Hey, Broken, you look hella serious. You like, who the fuck is this guy? I hate watching myself back, by the way. I hate doing it.
Well, you call everybody brother. That's like a pro-black thing. So,
no, I call these black men brothers because they're my brothers.
How are they?
Okay. Because we have a shared experience. We have a shared experience coming up here in the United States. So they are my brothers, even though it's just like in the military. You have a shared experience with people that you've been in a foxhole with, you've been in a battle with. These are my brothers. So I don't have a problem. I don't have to address you as I won't address you as my brother if that offends you, but please proceed.
I never said.
Salute to Uncle D for that, man. That's what's up. Salute to Uncle D for that.
It offended me.
But yeah, this is not a pro-black channel. We don't do pro. This is a channel that talks to. This is black men talking to other black men about issues that black men face. Fundamentally, what I want for black men is for them to be healthy, for them to be physically fit, for them to be spiritually awake, politically astute, and I also want them to be good.
Interrupted, and then he interrupted with the so his color thing, right? So that's what he wanted to be caught up on. That's what he thought he thought that the color thing was his trump card.
It's a color thing?
Well, I mean, my panel is this addresses black men. This is a page for black men, and we talk to black men about black issues.
Mind you, this motherfucker came over here. He came over here.
That's one of the big things. Like, if you don't know what the channel's about, wouldn't you hang back for a couple days, watch a few videos, see what the channel's about before you get involved in the chat directly?
Bro, I've watched people for years before I got the balls to hit the link.
Exactly. You know something, Broken? That's one thing that is one thing that infuriates me so much. People who just get up on a panel, doesn't even know what the topic is, just want to just get up on there. I'm like, that is the most rude thing you could do to anyone. Is just completely disrespect the platform and not even know what the backstory is to it. Like I was hanging around Uncle D for literally like for 2 years at least before I actually jumped on the panel.
Yeah, it's like it's so rude. It's so rude. But you really want to come in? He's like, oh, I hope it's not one of those kind of. Okay, sir. Let's continue.
Right.
So I mean, if you want to call that a color thing, I guess. And
can I once again? I want to shout out everybody on the panel, all the homeboys. Wrench, Philip, Broken, MC, Gerald, and Cody, all the brothers. Salute to you guys. Like I said, I see these moments and I see us all on there with Uncle D. It makes me proud. I know I'm corny, but
that would be it's a color thing because we talk
about thing. Okay, so right,
but I'm not pro-black.
Okay. So what I see a lot on these type of with this situation with Pearly things is that white people would do it, right? Making it about color, saying don't mess with somebody because of color. Kind of sounds like the 1630s or something like that in a lot of these situations these days.
What do you mean when you reference the 1630s? What do you mean specifically in the 1630s?
Well, I mean like black people are basically copying what white people used to do in the past. When white people of today have kind of moved on from that, black people.
What kind of dumbass? Like, what in the world are you thinking, sir? Like, what in the world? Run that back. What did he say? He said just
1630s. Like, what do you mean specifically in the 1630s?
Well, I mean like black people are basically copying what white people used to do in the past. When white people of today have kind of moved on from that, black people are kind of picking up that torch of, oh, it's a color thing and and black power, white power. So it kind of sounds like the same thing to me.
If you think that black people in any way, shape, or form can be in the same ballpark with what was done as far as what white people did to black people, you need your ass whooped is what you need, for real. Like, it's nonsensical. It doesn't even make any sense. Like, it's disingenuous at best. Right? It's like you clearly haven't, not only have you not done homework, but you're like, you must think everyone in here is stupid.
Disingenuous at best, intellectually lazy at worst.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would actually challenge you.
My bad.
No, it's all good.
It's just like usually, like with people like this, I like to challenge their intellect. I would ask them, what point in history did black people oppress any other race to the extent of what white people did in transatlantic slave trade in North America?
Yeah. And do you really feel like white people were really trying to like get past it? Like, get past it. What does that mean, get past it?
I don't even waste my time arguing people like that, because they'll pull what that black girl did in front of Congress.
Yeah.
I just want to see, though. I just want to challenge their intellect and see. I already know, but I just want to see.
Well, once again, Uncle D understands, like, we don't get opportunities to, because we deal with these kind of people in our day-to-day sometimes. And especially in being on these panels and speaking to other people, as the message gets out, as we become more successful, we will have these type of people coming into our space. We will have these type of agents of chaos coming in, and we need to understand how to deal with them and how to recognize what they look like and what they sound like. And so this is an example of not only what we need to look out for, but how we need to deal with it and how we, formulate the questions in order to trip them up. So, well, you know what I'm saying? So, like, this is a perfect example right here, right? When Uncle D's like, what did you mean by that? Or elaborate, right? They're so used to just like pumping out these talking points and these bullet points, and with so little understanding of what they're saying, that when they're asked to elaborate, they can't, because they've only got surface level knowledge of the things that they're talking about. So they make themselves look stupid, right? And then once they realize that, then they try to move the goalpost, which is exactly what happened here. It's like, okay, now I want to switch directions. I saw a great interview with what's his name from Twitter, the rocket guy, Tesla guy. Damn. Elon Musk. Yeah, he had an interview with the BBC and just eviscerated this guy. It was like, it looked like rookie. I might do it tomorrow, but
I haven't seen that. I saw a video about that pop up in my feed.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh my God, it was hilarious. You want to talk about catching somebody, putting somebody back on their heels. It was hilarious. Elon had this dude like bumbling over his notes, looking to his like producer for help. It was hilarious. Like, somebody save me, please. This guy is a genius, and I'm way out of my depth. But let's let this young man continue.
So,
and salute to Solo Dolo.
Explain what you mean when you reference the 1630s. What do you mean by that?
Well, I'm just referencing
1630s.
They were basing everything off, right? Like, for example, they had the colored water fountains, colored here and this here, right? And as people speaking about the Just Pearly things, it seemed like they're just coming at her because of how she looks, her color, things like that. So I'm trying to figure out, like, are we picking up white people kind of let this go? Like, the whole
white people kind of let this go.
What makes you say that?
Oh, Jesus Christ.
The amount of evidence, the plethora of videos out there by Green Gorilla, Dr. Tierson Johnson, yourself, Dennis Sperling, of the systemic racism in this country. But they let it go, guys.
They let it go.
We're making shit up.
They just don't understand. They don't look. They don't want to look. Right? They don't want to look. They don't want to look. They don't want to understand what's really happening. It's like, look, man, they made it so that they don't have to just be like F you N-word. Like they realize that, okay, we can't do that out in the open anymore, but we definitely need to like, we need to slip it. Yeah, we need to slip it in. We need to find more creative ways of getting our racism in. All the dog whistles, right? All the dog whistles.
Come on now.
All the things. There we go. Hot Sauce came back. Salute, bro. So
I'm gonna base it off of color, and Martin Luther King even said, you know, don't judge somebody by the color of their skin.
And right back to Martin Luther King again. Come on, man. Come on. It's like the only.
He's the only civil rights leader they teach in school. That's why.
The only one. I wish. I'm like, look, do you know more than just like the 2 or 3 lines in the I Have a Dream speech, you lazy MFer? Like, do you? Right? Like, same thing with Malcolm X. Like, for real. Like, you could put Malcolm X's picture in a lineup, and I bet you, like, young Malcolm, like, most people wouldn't even get it. Like, if you had, like, a color photo in, like, a lineup of, like, young Malcolm X, most people, I don't even think would be able to pick him out of a lineup. Young Martin Luther King, I don't even think you would be able to get young Martin, pick him out of a lineup, for real. Tell me the name of any of his other speeches or any of his other work, please. Please. That's what I'm saying. It's like, it's so lazy. We are so lazy. Unbelievable. Anyways, Hot Sauce, feel free to jump in whenever, if you feel like there's a moment or a thing.
And it
you
seems
want.
like a lot of black people these days kind of gotten away from that, right? Like, for example, I see people bashing other YouTubers, black YouTubers that had any agreement.
I'm still stuck on the 1630s because in the 1630s, remember, you know, America wasn't formed at that time. And you know what I'm saying? Like, so I'm kind of, are you referencing where Spain used?
I'm just trying to. It's just like a metaphor. It's just a metaphor of saying like blacks of today are taking up the torch that white people used to do. White people used to base everything off of color, right? Mm-hmm. Their slaves based off of color. Everything was color this, color that. And now I'm seeing that in 2023 that black people are now basing everything off of color. Why you rocking with that person? They white. Why you rocking with that person? They this. Stay on code. It sounds like the same thing that white people were doing in the past that kind of we didn't like, we rebelled against and all this other stuff. And now it's like we're kind of doing that now. And I'm just bring us together because my goal is to.
I have a problem with anybody who is outside of my culture or my race coming in and involving themselves in turn.
Like, can you honestly believe that he would make that argument at all?
But that's the culture of today, right? You got to understand something. Me and you are Generation X. Mm-hmm. That's the last of us, right? Mm. He's seen black presidents in his teenage years. He's seen interracial dating as a thing of, you know, like bro, we there was movies like Jungle Fever. Right, you know how precious it was if a black man could get a unicorn, my brother? And, you know, they made movies about that. But today, it's run-of-the-mill. And you got to understand that, right? Like, Generation X, the African medallions, power to the people, you know what I mean? Stay black, my brother. That's gone, man. That is gone.
But I mean, okay, but you don't think that there is a honest curiosity or an honest kind of like so these kids think that they're really truly being treated fairly?
It's not about that. It's about who has the better, where's the better deal? Where's the better deal? Do I integrate myself in this woke agenda, or do I stick with the black community? Where do I get the better deal?
So these kids genuinely think that they're not going to get their N-word wake-up call, right? Is that what they're saying?
I mean, they're not negating racism per se, but
this kid pretty much is.
No, because the thing when he says like you're just like what I heard was you act just like white people, which is a compliment. Thank you for that, right? So thank you for that because I believe in discriminating. I believe in it. I believe we need to be left alone to our own motherfucking devices.
Yeah.
I apologize for the poor language.
Nah.
I believe that we should be left alone to our own devices. But the thing about it is you gotta look at the everyday situation that they grow up in. Yeah, they know about racism. Yeah, they see it. I mean, police don't make you forget, right? The police don't make you forget if you're a black man. So it's there. But that is only one aspect. There's also the other aspects of dealing with our women. There's also the other aspects of dealing with other black men, how they talk down on you, how they have to use the N-word, how when something goes wrong in the community, the leaders say, oh, it's the community's fault, it's y'all fault. Then you go to the other areas, you're welcome with open arms.
Are you though?
Yeah, because you're the pet. Who doesn't like a pet?
That's just what I'm saying. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the broadcast, Mr. Allen and JJ Diesel Cowboy Traveler 79 Smith. How are you gentlemen doing? How are you doing, Mr. Allen? What's up, Mr. Allen? How are you?
I'm good. It's been a long day and my phone just decided to stop working like when you came on. But salute to you, salute the panel, to the chat.
Yeah.
Solo Dolo, Hootie. But yeah, Hot Sauce is right. It's because you're the pet. You're the pet nigga.
Yeah.
Good boy. Good boy. Shh. Don't make
So you would rather be the pet in a white person's house than the head of your own household?
Negative. I would rather no. No.
Because that's what we're talking about.
Ain't no way. Burn that motherfucker.
I just want to clarify something. If you're late 30s and up, you're Generation X or Generation X adjacent. We have seen something very different than what a 30-year-old has seen, right?
Yeah.
Because he's like, what, 31, 32? So he's almost Generation X. I mean, he's almost Generation Z, right?
Yeah.
Very different world we come from, right? He's seen black presidents. He's seen black women in power, right? Yeah. So, right. For us, being a pet is very... Look, white supremacy has understood something. If you severely oppress black people, they're going to stand up. But if you slowly boil that water, they're going to just be A-okay.
Gotcha.
Right?
Yeah.
So that's where we at.
So real quick, how are you doing, JJ? How are you, sir? Just want to get you in here.
Right,
how you doing?
You?
Excellent.
All right. Thanks for having me, and salute to everybody on the panel and the chat. Thanks for having me once again. Appreciate it.
Yes, sir.
I'm enjoying the show and appreciate these talks. I wish we had been on these talks about 20 years now.
Man, it would be a different world. We're doing it. We doing it slowly but surely. You know what I'm saying? We figuring it out. We getting a nice little head of steam here. So we figuring it out. Better, I guess, what they say, better late than never. But
yeah, it's like turning a big ship around to change the culture for the better, in a better direction.
Yeah,
and, I want to make note of a trend I've seen with the ladies in my little old country town, in particular, Fort City, Arkansas. They pretend to be, they particularly friendly, not pretend, but particularly friendly here lately. Even ones I never even met before, let alone the ones that not. And I'm kind of like, what's going on here? And it's not just here; it's down in Florida. I got a Facebook and YouTuber friend down there. His name is Jordan Daniels. RD is his YouTube channel. Okay. I mentioned it to him, and he said the same thing was going on there in Florida where he lived.
Is that economy starting to touch him a little bit? It's getting cold outside. Is that what you think?
Maybe so. And just today, this girl I knew, she lived in Tulsa, Oklahoma, and she moved back here. I seen her today for the first time in a year or so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is she cute?
And no, not like she used to be.
Okay. See, yeah. Sometimes them years be hard, dog. Sometimes these years be hard. Let's let this young man speak a little bit more.
Issues. So it wouldn't matter if she was white. It wouldn't matter if she was white, Asian, Hispanic, at all. It wouldn't matter.
Pause for a second, sir. I just listened to you, and I heard you bring up her color a few times. So
she's not black. She's not black.
Okay. Bringing up anybody's color, right? What I'm saying is that, are we doing what white people used to do back then? Are we being just as, I would say, prejudiced? Because if I say racist, and they're gonna say black people don't have the power to be racist. But are we being just as prejudiced?
I don't say that here.
Well, I'm just saying, like, that's what people would say. I'm not saying you would say that, but I'm saying, like, are we being racist? I'm just trying to figure it out so I can move on to, like,
are we being racist? Does everyone on the panel know the difference between being racist and being a bigot? Right?
Well,
does everybody know
it should be both?
I'm not disagreeing with that either, but I think, does everyone understand the difference between the two?
Yes.
Define it for me, just so I know.
So Grandpa Joe, old white man, can sit in his rocking chair in the corner of the room and he can be a bigot. He can say, I freaking hate N-words. They're N-words with the hard ER. But as long as his old ass sits over in that rocking chair and doesn't fucking move, then he doesn't affect me one iota. Got me? He can be a bigot and he's not affecting me one iota. Now, when Uncle Joe's daughter or son is sitting across the desk from me at the bank, that's when racism comes into play. When you can take your bigotry and you can impose your will and affect someone, use your power and affect another person, meaning keep them out of a home, don't treat them with the proper health care, call the cops on them, impose more force on them when it's not necessary. Whenever you take that bigotry and you actually impose your will on someone else in a negative way, that's where racism comes into play. So to say that so the question is, and I'm going to ask the panel, do you think black people can really truly be racist?
So, yeah, especially from the baby boomers, and understandably why, because my daddy went through Jim Crow. He's 73 years old.
Got you. I'm saying, you think black people can be? You said you think black people can be racist?
Yeah, but they can still, get on with their everyday lives and stuff. And it's understandably, see, a bigot and a racist. You want me to define the difference, but it's a fine line. See, when you've been oppressed and been mistreated by the another race for so long, you tend to not trust them, and it tend to make you want to get along with them. But if you got a good heart, and you don't want to hate nobody because you believe in God and what the Bible says, right? But you do not trust them. That makes you a racist, rightfully so. But you try to work with people. That's one thing.
I would disagree. What makes you racist is when you actually actively impose your will, or you do something to other people. That's what makes you racist. Now, sometimes it's just talking, right? Maybe it's typing, maybe it's tweeting, but you're actually actively doing something. You can sit in one place, be a bigot, say, I hate white people, and that's one thing. But for you to be racist, you're actually doing something to someone. I believe racism, or the act of racism, is you actually doing something where you put someone below you. Does anybody else disagree with that? Hot Sauce, Mr. Allen, Broken, Gerald?
I want to say this. Oh, go ahead, Gerald. Go ahead.
You can distrust somebody and not want to be around them for bad experiences.
Trust would make you a bigot. Trust would make you a bigot, but trusting, whether I trust you or not, I'm not imposing any will or anything on you. So I could say,
that's what I was trying to say.
Okay, go ahead.
So, all right. Now, a bigot is somebody directly saying something to me to try to put me down. The N-word, and he ain't doing no better than me, right? And I remember I told you I had this conversation, and I said, you know how I shut this person up, right? I said, you know what? Is that all you got in your vocabulary? And I was real sarcastic. Keep on talking. I know something you don't. And he kept on saying N-word, old bigot.
Gotcha.
On the CB line of work, I've heard the N-word, and I've shut a lot of people down. I've come to defense of other black men on CB too. I've shut, and it's a big old CV radio shop in West Memphis over here, Channel 5.
All right, JJ, hold on, JJ. Go ahead, Hot Sauce. What were you gonna say, Hot Sauce? We heard you, JJ. Hold on, what were you gonna say, Hot Sauce?
Well, I was going to say this. Yes, black people can discriminate. Of course, it's not going to be on a large scale as white supremacy, but you can. One example is small business owners, right? Mm-hmm. We decide who we want to hire. We could say, okay, I'm not hiring this type of people, or I'm only going to hire black men, or well, black women do it anyway. They say we're only going to hire black women. We're going to have an all black woman company, right? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And white women do it also. Actually, they hire all woman company too, right? That's actually, locking people out of employment, right? Yep. Is it on a grand scale? Absolutely not. But you can, right? Because there's enough black businesses in America to do something like that. Yeah.
Okay. Do you believe wholesale that's a problem? Per se, do we? What I'm getting at is just that do we, as a whole, as a group, do we hold enough power to actually be noticeably racist? Whereas,
not large scale, right? Because we don't own enough stuff to be large scale, right?
Exactly.
We don't own enough,
exactly. Right? We don't have enough power.
Yeah, but in on a small scale, right? Individual small businesses. Banking, yeah, we can, and we should.
I agree.
Try today, folks. It's good for your health.
That's right. I agree. Let's try to get through this.
Well, go ahead.
I want to get to the prayer.
What's your next point?
Well, first you have to answer my question. Are we choosing to be racist now that we're free?
So, are you're asking me whether or not I want to draw a line between my black people and my black culture? Like white people drew a line between white people and white culture. You reference the 1630s, but I think you probably mean more like the 1950s and pre-integration. Is that correct?
Yeah, it was just like an analogy, just saying that's when white people had the power to be
So here's the thing. I don't have a problem with people.
It's not exactly an analogy, but exactly.
Protecting their culture. I don't have a problem with Jewish people protecting their culture. I don't have a problem with Hispanic people protecting their culture. I don't have a problem with the different Africans and different nations and different tribes of the 54 countries. I don't have a problem with them protecting their tribal culture. So no one should have a problem with us protecting our culture from outsiders.
Okay, so when you say that, what other channel, right? Because there's a bunch of black channels where they go, oh, this don't.
Do you think he was listening to respond, or do you think he was listening to absorb?
Respond, hands down.
Right. Those are just
very
the little
fashionable
things.
Tactics here.
Those are the little things I pick up on, right? Pay attention. He was listening to respond. He wasn't really, and I think part of it too is looking around and kind of constantly.
I call this the train method. The train method from Boys in the Hood, when we swing in the air. Just trying to get wind.
If I can say something really quickly,
absolutely.
I understand what Mr. Sperling is saying, but sometimes you just gotta lean in, because when he said are we the same? I would have just said yes. Just lean into it. Fuck it.
Yeah.
Yes, we're racist and we're proud of it. Thank you.
Next question. Yes, we need more of it. In fact, we're not racist enough.
With this white person,
exactly.
This white person. What other cultures are out there doing that same thing to black people and saying? And I mean, because we're on YouTube where we're doing this, right? Where else? Like, show me a channel or tell me a channel where they're going, yo, white people only listen to white people.
All of them, sir. All of them do it. All of them do that. All of them. Hold on. All of them. All of them say don't mess with black people. They just don't say it out loud, but every single one of them, they do it. So get over yourself, kid.
And Spanish people only listen to Spanish people, and that black person shouldn't be telling you what to do, because that's what we're hearing here on these spaces. So it brings me back to my point.
What I'm saying is, I don't want people from outside cultures involving themselves in internal issues with black people. That's what I'm saying. Because it's none of their business. And it is no different than if let me finish. It's no different than if I began to host panels of white men and white. There are issues with pedophilia. There are issues with domestic violence. That's not as a black man, that's out of bounds. Now, you may disagree with that. You may think it's perfectly acceptable for me to host panel after panel after panel of white men and white women displaying their dysfunction for the world to see. I disagree with that.
Okay.
He doesn't know what to say.
Well, no, I understand that. And, I would say if they...
Say what?
Them long ass pauses.
Yeah,
I noticed when he was talking to him. He just paused for like a long time.
Because he didn't know what to say. He's like, go ahead.
Well, I just want to say this because this is where the gap is, or where the disconnect is. See, the thing about it is two things. Number one, why does our actions always have to be justified against another group of people? Number two, when they talk about like, oh, you can't hear other people do this, but you got to understand something. Other races of people are taught that when they're children. Right? They're taught that. I mean, like right now, there's a video on TikTok right now where a Chinese woman is saying in Chinese, stay away from black women because they're dangerous. Right? Like they're taught to stay away and be away from other groups of people, and that your group is the best people. They're taught that as children. So when they become adults, no one needs to say it because it's already learned. Our parents teach us, get a seat at the table, right?
Yeah.
Demure yourself down, right? Show them that you're a good worker. Show them that you can be a part of the team, stuff like that.
Yeah.
Where all the other races like, no, fuck that. You can't trust nobody that don't look like you, right? And see, that's where the disconnect for a lot of black people are. When we talk about, well, other races of people don't have it. That's because these were children lessons. These are lessons in childhood. That's why like, you know what I mean? That's why you don't see, like, especially when it says, well, you don't see other men degrading their women when they don't talk about trailer park trash, because everyone knows that you don't deal with trailer park trash. It's not necessary. They have standards. Facts. Those are lessons. Those are childhood lessons, right?
Yeah. Good.
That we're not getting.
Yeah.
That's 100%. Why you see the difference, because their mom knew to get it in their mouth and not in their cooter if there wasn't a good man to marry. Our mothers didn't, and that's
swallow.
There it is.
Yeah, you swallow that.
That's all I'm gonna say. I'll keep quiet after that.
Go ahead, Mr. Allen. Go, Mr. Allen.
I like to quote the great Dennis Sperling. You motherfuckers are too goddamn nice. That's the goddamn problem. You're too fucking get mean. Get mean. Get angry. Get angry. Call it a rule. Fuck this bullshit. They don't like you. They don't like you. They don't like you. They don't like you. Accept that shit. Let it burn. Let it sizzle in your goddamn soul. But after that's done, breathe and get mean. Get fucking mean. God damn it.
Oh shit, JJ is full blown.
Not only that, Mr. Allen, they let us know. They let us know real quick they don't like us too. Like, I got that call when I was in elementary school.
Mm-hmm.
I went to one prejudiced ass elementary school that was predominantly white.
Mm-hmm.
They try to find every reason to put my ass in the corner, put my ass in special ed. Told me I was pretty much dumb. My mom almost got into it with teachers one time because they just kept degrading me. I'm like, yo, it like they let us know up real quick. We don't fuck with y'all.
Yeah.
We don't fuck with y'all.
Can I ask something really quickly? Has anyone tried to explain something to a white person and you just see this fog?
Yeah.
Like they're looking at you weird?
Yep.
You don't know what that is? They can't believe that a Negro is teaching them something. That's why.
You're so right.
That's why.
You're so right.
That's why they don't need to be talking about be around your own. Because in their mind, from a childhood, y'all don't know nothing. Y'all don't read. Y'all don't do that. So it blows their mind when you teach, like, huh? What? They know something more than me? See?
Bro.
So when you have that mindset, it doesn't need to be discussed. Because again, these are childhood lessons for everybody else. Because any black man know, whenever you try to explain something a white person doesn't know, they can't hear you because that training. It's impossible for a black person to teach me something unless it's basketball.
Yeah. Like, bro.
Let me say this.
Yes,
I got a heavy imposing thought. It can be proven biblically and scientifically. If you look up the word human, take the HU away, hue, color. We were made from the clay. We're the color of dirt. Man. We're the first people. Other people come from us. And then, okay, us men have 2 chromosomes that make us men. XY. The woman have XX. Woman was taken from man, and that's scientific proof. The definition of the word human and the chromosomes. What
That's
more
what's
proof
up.
do you need?
Amen. Now,
one more thing.
What's that?
One more thing, and I'm gonna abide my time. I'm gonna pass the what you call it. When I told you I come into the defense of other black men on CB, what disappointed me, I didn't get a thank you, nothing. Just silence. Even at big CB radio shop in West Memphis, Channel 5, nobody said nothing. Oh, and I was
go ahead.
It ain't the first time I, did that, but and then the other guy was saying the N-word directly to me. And I said, I know who. He kept on saying that. I said, then all you got in your vocabulary about us. I said, I know more than you think I do. Yeah. I said, I know who the real Jews are. Radio silence.
Oh, shit. Look, man, I think we have to start setting the standard. And part of setting the standard is abiding by those rules and by the code ourselves. That means that when you you acknowledge him, sometimes for some of us it's just a nod or the what's up. I try to speak, I say hello, I say good morning, I say good night, I try to be pleasant if I can, I hold doors, I say please and thank you. I mean, it starts there, right? Where they say have some home training. Now that might sound like a lot to a lot of people, and it's like, oh, you mess around in Philly and get robbed doing shit like that. Maybe maybe if you're in Philly, you don't do that. But hot sauce, you have to tell me, you get robbed.
It's a definite. It's not a maybe.
All right. Well, you got to be choosy, but if you're not in Philly or another place that's particularly dangerous, then you should try to be cordial to your fellow black man. That's what I'm saying. That's all. Let's let this kid do his thing.
Allowed you to do that.
Inspiring thoughts.
I don't really see the problem.
Now,
perfectly acceptable for me to host panel after panel of white men and white women displaying their dysfunction for the world to see. I disagree with that.
Okay. Well, no, I understand that, and I would say if they allowed you to do that, I don't really see the problem with it. And then on top,
allowed.
They don't.
I wonder if he even really realized what he just said. if they allow you to do that, right? Isn't it the point that we're talking about whether or not we should allow Pearly Things or any other group of people to talk about or to put our dirty laundry out in the street, right? But what he's talking about is, well, if they allow it, then it's okay. Well, it's like, well, wait a minute. So it's okay for them to allow it, but why should we allow it? You see what I'm saying? How it's like he intrinsically puts power in their hands, but not in our own. Do you see what I'm saying? Like, we can't regulate ourselves, so they could just do whatever the hell they want to, but they can allow us to be able to talk about them. Like, he didn't even understand what he just said.
Yeah, I caught that when he said allowed, because basically when he said the word allowed, that pretty much negated the whole conversation, because basically he's saying that, okay, anyone can kind of do what they want, we're all people. Then turn around and say, well, white people have to allow you to do that, right? So pretty much it negates, like, the last 5-6 minutes, he just totally destroyed his own argument by saying that. Yeah,
absolutely. I was like, oh, it's done now. now you're just it's psychobabble at this point.
Well, let me ask you a question.
It's like you lost.
You say if they allowed me to do it. What do you think the response would be if I began to host white people, white men and white women, and I brought them on day in and day out, and I allowed them to discuss in public the domestic violence rate, the methamphetamine use, the pedophilia rate in the white community, day in and day out? What do you think would be the
Nothing.
You don't think so?
Lies.
I don't think you would get any response from them. I think
Stop the cap.
I think that on these spaces we play a pity party.
Why is it? Well, no. Let me ask you a question. Well, we know that this pedophilia, according to the FBI statistics, pedophilia is a problem. And
now, so did you catch that? So he made this disingenuous statement, essentially lying, and then he tried to hurry up and move the goalpost, change the subject. Right. So again, the reason why I'm doing this is so that we can recognize when we come across these agents that come into our spaces and try to derail the conversation. This is the strategy. So I want us to be able to recognize the strategy and understand what is happening. When the conversation gets thrown way off, out of whack, and suddenly we're talking about stuff that doesn't make any sense, we need to understand why. Like, how did we even get over here when we were talking about this other thing over here? Uncle D keeps circling back to the conversation or the points that he was making before because his answers weren't sufficient. That's part of the whole gig. You can't let them shake you off you got to be a pit bull with what you're talking about until you're satisfied. Because like I said, all of us at some point are going to be running these panels and on these panels with other people. And we need to be able to recognize when the agents are come. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, there's only not that many of us in here now. Like I said, we're all OGs. We're all doing this. This is what an agent looks like. Mr. Allen, go ahead. Looks like you were going to say something.
I have a question. What is the politically correct way to deal with an individual like that?
Exactly how he's going to talk himself into a corner. What you do is you ask him to elaborate on the points, because generally have a very firm understanding of what it is that they're talking about. Yeah. Right. He came in and he was just like, oh, we're trying to be like 1630 and then color. Right. And he didn't have a very firm understanding of racism in the United States, the experience of black people in this country. He doesn't particularly like black people. So Dennis tripped him up just by asking him to elaborate or clarify his points.
Challenging his intellect.
So ask him to clarify. Clarify what he said. You don't even have to go super deep. Just be like, what did you mean by 1630? Like, what part of 1630 did you mean exactly? Or do you think that, you see what I'm saying? Like, instead of, and you don't have to be mean about it. You don't have to be whatever. I know, like, the chat was like, he's an agent, he's a troll, he's a troll, kick him off. And it's like, yes, true. But you have to see these as opportunities, right?
So what I would I be wrong for just calling him a bitch and be like, you know what? Get your bitch ass out of here.
For you,
fuck boy, get going, get the fuck on.
No, for Mr. Allen, you absolutely positively would not. It would be right up your alley. I would not be.
That's reinforcing.
Yes. You should absolutely. That is all you. Ladies and gentlemen, salute. Dusty wanted to jump in real quick. Deacon Dusty wanted to chime in and enlighten us a little bit. Go on ahead, Deacon. Welcome to the broadcast, bro.
Hey, welcome to the thanks for the warm welcome. I just wanted to weigh in on what I like to call harnessing our quote-unquote kung fu styles. Anybody who's a big fan of those old late 1970s and early 80s kung fu movies, anytime an opponent does a style or whatnot, opposition calls out what the style is and uses some sort of complementary style to either adequately defend against it or be on the offense, okay?
Yeah.
And so in the back chat here, okay?
So wait, hold on, time out. So it's like, oh, you've got an impressive tiger style, but I can see your tiger style and raise you with my zebra style.
Drunken style, exactly.
Yes, absolutely. Okay, got you. All right, I just wanted to, just for those that are listening, I wanted to go on ahead. Go ahead.
Okay. One, I see that you've used a false narrative. A false equivalence. Let me show you how that is a false equivalence. You stated this. You stated that. Could you please clarify for me? Okay. So there's that there, right? List of policies. Okay. I'm going to introduce you guys to a little critical thinking so that you're able to identify opponents' strategies for influence, okay? And actually counter them. I know this may be boring, but this is the shield, and it's also the spear that you're also going to need so that you're able to break these people down without resorting to yelling, name calling, and all those different things so that, people, will just, look stupid, okay? So let's say appeal to probability, okay?
Yeah.
Appeal to probability. Oh, most black men are full of shit. You might tell me a little more about that? You mind telling me? You understand where I'm coming from?
Yep. Elaborate.
Yeah, exactly. Learn these different things, okay, or whatnot. See if you could Control F and see if you can find appeal to authority.
Man, you got me. This was about as. Wait, right now you mean?
Okay. Oh, well, not even. No, I mean Control F as far as within this particular article. How about this? Let's go to that non-sequitur fallacy, right? This happens a lot when I look at people's arguments out here in these streets. Non-sequitur fallacy. If you go up just a little bit. Okay.
Okay, got you.
Okay, so you see how it says where the conclusion. Oh, where it says is a pattern of reasoning rendered invalid by a flaw in its logical structure that can neatly be expressed and so forth, so forth, so forth. Okay?
Yeah.
You mind moving that, what you call a little bit? Here we go. Okay. You see where the conclusion does not logically follow the premise. So they may say, okay, something like, black men, only thing that black men want to do is date white women. Okay? All right? And then you go forward in the conversation, they do what? They move the goal post.
Yep.
You understand where I'm coming from?
100%.
That's essentially what they're doing. So the first thing they posited was that all black men want to do is date white women, and where you end up, and then next thing you know, they're arguing that, oh, black men just want to go overseas because it's cheaper. Are we going overseas because we want to date white women or worship white women, or all we want to do is date white white women. Make it make sense. You understand where I'm coming from?
Absolutely.
So we call out these things in the moment. We have to have enough of these weapons in our repertoire, in our mind, to be able to call it out right then and there. When we call it right then and there, people are gonna be like, "Ooh, what is that? Ooh, what is that? Ooh, drunken style. Ooh, Manson style. Ooh, panda style. Damn. This is how you become a logician. This is how you beat it. The second thing, open up another tab real quick. Sorry, just real quick.
You are killing me, sir. All right, which one? What tab of what? What would you like me to put?
Yep, look up 15 common cognitive distortions.
Oh, hell no. Man, you got to give me this beforehand.
You
can't be coming in the middle. You can't come into the middle with giving me. Hold on. Let me use this real quick. 15 what?
Common cognitive distortions.
I think we've already done this. So, ladies and gentlemen, me and Deacon Dusty have done this privately multiple times before, but we have not done this. We're not doing this live. Is not what I anticipated. Here we go. Here, hold on.
Okay. So, in alignment with what you were discussing earlier about people and self-hate and stuff like that, okay?
Yes, sir.
So, let's go on to filtering or black and white. Oh, really? You ain't got to subscribe. They tripping.
Awesome. Nah, hold on.
They are tripping. That's a public site.
Nah, you got to for a lot of articles nowadays.
There we go. Okay. Go on to that.
Filtering. Oh, what happened? Go ahead. Sorry.
Okay.
Anyway, we might have to do. Here's what we'll do. We'll do a special one just on this one by itself. We'll do a completely different broadcast on this one all by itself because it looks like Uncle D is about to come on in about 10 minutes, and I wanted to muscle through and at least get to the point to where we're preying on this young soul real quick. So I hate to interrupt you. Deacon Dusty Nuts is an actual practitioner, ladies and gentlemen, which is why he's coming at it from this angle. But I wanted to get to the point to where we were preying on this young brother real quick. We're gonna do a separate broadcast just on this because I think it deserves more time, to be honest with you. Like, it definitely deserves more time. So we'll you and I'll get together and we'll put together a specific time for us to do that all together. Cool.
Hey, before I go, I already know the title. Silent Weapons for Quiet Wars. You know what I mean? So that you all have y'all's shield and y'all spear, because people are going to come with your talking points and you'll be able to articulate those in a politically correct fashion. Mr. Allen, I just wanted to help brothers out. Empower.
Of course. Go ahead, Mr. Allen.
All right, y'all.
Of course. Yeah.
Deacon Dusty. You the man, sir.
Hey, man. Yeah.
So I just want to tell you that you are the best at putting together in such an eloquent manner, telling these dudes, you think like a bitch, bro. You think like a fucking bitch, bro. Get that bitch brain bullshit the fuck out of here, man. Like,
I know you be seeing me everywhere rolling.
yo, like, you tell them so nicely, but I just want to be just real. I'm like, I'm tired, bro. I'm tired. Like, yo, you think like a bitch, bro.
Yeah.
You talk to them, you let them know the cognitive dissonance and how they're messing up and how they should start viewing things. And sir, I commend you because I don't have them patience. I ain't got it.
I told you he's a clinician. He's a clinician. He be putting people on the couch, even on the internet.
I would say this.
You the man.
Create allies, not enemies, because they're looking for excuses to act on the hate that they've already been infused with. But I digress. I gotta run, y'all.
Hey, man. Hit me after your session, Dusty.
The white community. But you never see it. Let me finish. You never see it on MSNBC. You never see it on CNN. Why is it that they don't discuss this major issue which affects children on national television?
I think my honest opinion would be because there's so many murders going on in these cities.
This is what I wanted to get to.
That's what's more sensational to them. You know, news loves to see, you know, if it bleeds, it leads. And usually we're at the forefront of the bleeding.
What you just
killing people, basically.
said was that it doesn't fit the narrative. What does fit the narrative is black.
No, I didn't just say that. No, that's not what I said. No.
It's like, no, that's exactly what you said. That's exactly what you said.
Pretty much.
Hold up.
No, you can't overtalk me. You said that the reason that they put all these murders on TV that's going on in these and I'm assuming you mean in cities, and basically you're saying black people killing each other, because that fits the narrative. That's the pathology that they want to put forward. Now, if we start putting forward white pathology, that would be a problem, and they would shut it down.
Well, the thing is,
you can disagree and put forward going on. The reason they put all these murders on TV.
I think they're doing it because when you take someone's life, the parents go, someone killed my kid, find out who it was, and then it ends up on the news.
That's interesting that you have that view. You say that you think that murder is worse than pedophilia. Well, you know, the people in prison think that pedophilia is worse than murder, and they will.
I don't think he thought that through. I don't think he really thought that through. I think maybe he made a mistake on that one.
So we're a bunch of goofy N-words not knowing he was about to go toe to toe with a freaking lawyer.
Yeah. He definitely walked in.
That's why you do your research before you just jump on a damn panel.
Yeah,
absolutely. You never know when you might jump in the ring with the damn boxing champion.
Absolutely. But look, check this out. This is
no. I want you to hear me.
He said, "I'm not black."
Go ahead. Now, the brother's on the phone. Now you say what the worst people in America?
Yeah. Some of the worst people in America.
Huh?
Some of the most hateful as well. Some of the most racist. So I'll just give you a quick example. Someone.
Is that for you, Mr. Allen?
Hold on. When you talk about.
This is for you, Mr. Allen. This is the part you want. I want to make sure you got this part. I just wanted to agitate you real quick before this next broadcast.
It has
No.
Yeah, that includes.
Wait,
brother, are you a black man?
No, I don't look at my.
Okay, well, you look like a clown. Y'all leave the brother alone. Leave the brother alone.
Hey, no. Let them. That's what they are.
Let them be themselves. That's what they are.
Matter what you think you are. It's what we
say.
It
does. No.
I know.
What were you gonna say, Gerald?
No, I said so. That means that's what you are too.
Yeah.
That's what they are.
Yeah.
They.
Yeah.
They is us. Us is your ass.
Yeah.
You know what?
Yeah.
Alvin,
yeah.
I will not let you hurt my feelings tonight. You know what? Today's been a good day. Like Ice Cube said, today's been a good day. God damn it.
You didn't need a 7.62s?
We prayed.
No.
We prayed for this brother though. We prayed for him. We prayed on him.
No. I want you to hear me. I hear you. I want you to hear me. Do you live in America?
Yes.
Okay, so you're a black man in America.
I'm not a black man in America. I am an American from New Jersey. That's what I am. The thing is that
I was losing my mind. I was like, "Whoa."
Yes, I'm a black man. I am an American from New Jersey.
No, you can't run from it. You are clearly a black man, and you said you live in America, and therefore you got to deal with that. You are one of the worst people in America.
I don't have to deal with none of that shit.
Tonight,
all right, look
at yourself and say one of the worst people in America. You said it's your words. I didn't say that.
Yeah.
And it doesn't matter what you think you are. Hold on. It's a lot of men. It's a lot of men who dress in dresses who think they're women. Mm-hmm. But we all know that they're still men. And whether you think you gotta listen, brother. Now you came up in here and you said something.
Cold-blooded.
I'm holding up for you. You said that I'm not a black man, and I'm telling you, when you...
I think it's funny that he had to sit there and watch 8 people laugh at his ass, because that was not what he was expecting. I think he probably expected to come in there and everybody be like, yo, bitch ass, fuck you.
Yeah,
laughing at him.
I could tell he was getting agitated too.
Yeah, he didn't know what to do. He legitimately didn't know what to do. He was like, yeah, he was not the response. I think he was so used to getting the F you cool ass, expecting that. And we're over here laughing and praying on him, for God's sake. Trying to get him out of the sunken
down the
place.
street, and that white woman clutches her purse. She's letting you know you are a black man. You understand, mom? And
the only person that ever let me know that I was a black man or other black men calling me a nigga every time. That's the only people that let me know I'm a black man. Is some of the most dangerous people in America, which is black men. Those are the only people that let me know I'm black.
Okay, so you.
I'm on there clutching my pearls and flipping my hair like an idiot.
I'm not black.
I'm not black.
Y'all listen to this brother. Listen to the brother. He says he's not black. I'm trying to help him understand that he is not an Asian woman. He's not a white man. He is not. He is a black man living in America. And everything you say about black men, it applies to you. You wear that badge.
What's the proper pronouns? Who you want to use, sir?
Let's just say.
Was that?
I said, what's the proper pronouns he wants us to use? Because if he should have said that.
Yeah, he should have led with that. Because he looked like a black guy to me. I don't know. I could be wrong.
Okay, look, I'll give you this.
Black, what is it, hoodoo?
It does apply to me.
Yes,
when I'm walking outside and I see a person and I see a lady cross the street, I go, okay, I understand that. I am a dark skinned man, and dark skinned men always doing stupid shit in America. So yeah, I get why she do that.
There we go. He was waiting to say that. He was waiting to say that.
But not only that, he pretty much just admitted that he was black.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's full of fucking
failed. Can't make this shit up.
What's that,
Dark
JJ?
If he ain't black, what is it, hoodoo?
Yeah, pretty much. Pretty much.
Bro, you not even
hoodoo.
Because he said you ain't even that dark.
But the bottom line, it doesn't matter if you're a dark-skinned black man or a light-skinned black man or a black man with good hair, dreadlocks, bald head, mohawk. You will not rise any higher than the lowest person in your social status. The lowest person, your social status is not going to rise any higher than the lowest person in your group. Whether you like it or not, you over here with us. You hear me? You over here with us.
Nah. See, look,
I know you don't come on over, bro.
I don't think that you understand what I mean.
Come on over. Come on over.
And if you would allow me to.
Oh, Lord, yes.
Yeah, Lord.
We need a mirror. We need a mirror and a tape recorder.
Look, I get it. Y'all always put us in the same boat, crabs in a barrel. I get it, but some of us, just like OJ said, I'm not black, I'm OJ. You know what I mean?
Motherfucker, there's a way around being fucking black. When the whole time you sitting around with these little shit locks in your goddamn head, Slim, you the same as us, bro. You ain't got the wake-up call. They ain't drug your ass out your nice-ass car yet. You ain't had some random ass white broad like that. He did it, and you the wrong in R. And they get you, dog. Behind that wall for good old 24 to 36 hours. Yeah, bro. Like, what the fuck? I'm glad I went to bed last night because I was too tired to deal with this. Cause now I'm hostile and I'm awake. And damn it. What the fuck?
Oh,
you ain't no different.
Do you need prayers too right now? Here, hold on. You need to pray
Bible's out. Praise God.
Thank you. Thank you. Lord, let him realize who he is. Thank you, Jesus. Thank you. Lord, look at walk by.
I live on other people here, and they don't call themselves black people. So like,
I refuse.
Salute to Rich Turner and his soundboard. He's got the best one. That's great.
He is not a black man. Not a black man.
Nope.
Mr. Allen's so upset. Did I make you? My bad, bro. My bad.
Everything happens for a reason. I went to sleep. If I would have been on the panel, I'm pretty sure Aunt would have been like, Mr. Allen, stop. Because I'm like, you bitch ass, you motherfucker. With your punk ass, you old puss ass, boy, you fuck ass. Yeah. And it wouldn't have went well. So it's cool. It's cool. But
yeah,
that's like saying, hey, y'all are black, but I'm Gumby. No, NR, you with us. They come for me, they come for you too.
Yeah. I mean, look, a lot of these guys, like they say, he was being contrarian. And I get it. You know, he thought he was going to be able to come in and throw those Molotov cocktails and hide his hands. And I think he thought that it would be enough for him to be able to do that. And we would, because I mean, here, let's just be real. He thought he was going to get a different response.
Yeah.
Right. He thought he was going to get the violent, angry, you know, the stereotypical response. And probably 9 times out of 10, had he gone into a group full of black men, that's probably would have been the response that he would have gotten. However, Uncle D likes to use these as opportunities for learning experience. Like these are learning. This is potential to learn things, man. Like we can't just like throw everybody. Like we all knew what time it was as soon as the guy got up there, right? So then it becomes a matter of, okay, well, let's just see what kind of experience we can get out of this guy real quick, right? What can we learn from this person? You know, how sharp is this guy really? Does he really have, can he really match wits with any of us? Do we just make him, or do we laugh at him, make him look stupid, and then
that's why I say
pray him off the panel?
You challenge the intellect first, and then when he doesn't have any ammo, just slowly rock him to sleep, like we did with the prayers, because that's how they just get agitated.
Yeah. Real talk. But look, guys, let's in closing, Mr. Allen, what are your thoughts, bro? I mean, we just talked about self-hate and try not to have it. I think exploring your own, kind of being inquisitive and understanding where you came from and why you feel the way that you feel is the general consensus, and then have a little pride and dignity in who you are as a human being, I think is the answer. What are your thoughts as we get up out of here, Mr. Allen?
I'm way too angry right now. I missed all that last night. Yeah. Surprise. No, as far as self-hate, you might as well love yourself. Even the Bible teaches you to love yourself, because all you have is you, and love those that look like you. There's nothing wrong with it. Every other race can do it, except like us for some strange reason. There is no white savior coming. It's just us. If you are our own answer, us. That's all I got.
All right, man. I appreciate that, JJ. That's what's up. That's what's up, man. Appreciate you. And yo, man, I'm glad you had a good day today. I'm sorry, I really didn't mean to get you upset. I apologize for that part, but I'm glad you made it. I'm glad you hung out with us, Mr. Allen. JJ, go ahead, bro. What would you like to say in closing? And looks like Uncle D's already fired up, so let's try to go ahead. What would you like to close on, big guy?
Is of love and respect for you all guys on the trip, and my admiration and respect and appreciation for Brother Dennis Furley and Uncle D. Well, we got to protect these things. We got to protect our individuality, things that make us human. That I describe the definition of human. Although we're the first humans, by the way.
Yep.
And we gotta take care of our reputation, our mentality, our spirituality, our health, and the people who are good and close to us. We reciprocate good back to people who are good to us and cut off the rotten, bad apples, separating the wheat from the tare. And we got to move on. And
amen.
And for us being mean, the average person tells me to want to be real callous. Sometimes I am, but I hold back sometimes too. We got to operate in grace or disgrace. We got a choice, two choices. Great choices.
That's what's up. Powerful words. That's powerful words. Gerald, in closing, sir, what would you like to add? And then we'll finish with Broken Blade. What are your thoughts, sir?
In terms of self-hatred and black men and how we deal with things and how to go about in this country, one thing we do really underestimate about ourselves is self-hate. Like the first thing we're taught coming out the womb is we ain't ish, and it's completely regurgitated. It's put down on us. It's damn near we have the entire weight of the world on our shoulders. The pressure is on from as soon as we get born. Which is probably a lot of reason why we have a low life expectancy. We die of cardiac arrest sooner than any other race. But the thing is, what we have to do, gentlemen, is I'm a little more on the pessimistic side. I know we talked about the pessimistic and optimistic side of how we go about creating our own type of community and how we could actually have our own code. But day by day, I'm starting to get more on the optimistic side, especially after last night, because any other time when we don't display the type of the common stereotypical black men argue back and forth type of rhetoric. It makes me proud. It makes me know that we actually are intelligent. We actually can navigate these spaces really well. We actually can prove the world that we could work together as a cohesive unit as black men. So with that being said, I think we can do it, Alvin. I truly do. But we can't have the biggest issue is infiltration, and we have to be on code. I personally don't think we can do it exactly here, but that's why I say just let's get our passports and let's just try to see what we can do elsewhere. But if we can, we can. But for the most part, gentlemen, we gotta establish some type of code. We want to go fast, go long. We want to go far, go together. We have to go far together. So let's do it. So let's leave it there.
That's what's up. That's what's up. Salute to you, man. Thank you for fabulous words. Broken, sir. What would you like to leave us with?
To this guy, I get it to an extent. Like you said, though, the definition you cover for self-hatred, feelings of inadequacy, low self-esteem, feel like you're never good enough. I deal with these things. Mm-hmm. Dealt with them for years, as do many other black men. We're raised to believe that the color black is associated with evil and death. The God that we're taught to pray to looks like the people that oppress us. Most of us never got the emotional support we needed from our parents. And in many cases, our own mothers hate us. So to a degree, I understand the self-loathing. But at the same time, shunning the truth, being blind to the truth, won't help or save you. In this country, we are one big Negro, period, point blank.
Damn, yeah.
This system has proven time and again to be against us, so we need to leave this system. Not him though. You stay your ass here. Fuck that. Anyway, until then, understand that the system is against you. You're gonna have to outwork practically everybody to get to where you need to go. It's not right. It's fucked up, but it is what it is.
Yeah.
And last word to this gentleman. I don't know who you were trying to appease with this, like what your end game was. Understand, sooner or later, you got a nigga wake-up call coming.
Yeah.
To the men that were on that panel last night, I'm proud of all of them.
Yeah.
We held our peace well. You gentlemen held the peace well, didn't give him what he was looking for.
Yeah.
And to you assholes in the future, never, ever, ever try to out-troll Dennis Sperling.
Facts.
I'll let my friend know.
Hey, that's what's up. I really can't add too much to that. Hey, man, look. And I want to say salute to Combat Scorpion, Solo Dolo, Braxton Snake Fiend, Sick With It Though. Let's see, Ken Justin Creations, salute to you. Who else came through here? Bedded Mike Jamal, Jerome, Intrinsic One even popped in for a split second. If I missed you, I apologize. Salute to Hot Sauce for coming through, Mr. Allen, JJ Diesel, Cowboy, Traveler, 79 Smith, Broken Blade, Jero, Arrowhead, Deacon Dusty Nuts even coming through and sharing some information with us, dropping some knowledge on us. I know we were kind of crunched for time, but we're definitely going to revisit those things because I think that was extremely important and stuff that we absolutely positively need to touch on. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to slide on over for the most part. Most of us are going to slide over to Attorney Dennis Sperling's broadcast. So I will catch you over there. And as I say every evening, we out.